is up, y'all? So we just got back from seeing another property in the quest for our potential country home, our homestead. Now, I don't know if it'll be our forever home. We do have plans of, one day possibly being in Alberta, who knows, one day possibly being elsewhere. But for what matters right now and what's going to move our life forward is building this homestead. And we can either take it a few directions. My goal is to build up the homestead. Wife can stay home. We can have some beautiful children, raise them up country. We can also have some dogs, Noxley, and maybe a brother or sister for him, probably a brother. There's no hanky-pankies going on. And yeah, they can be gun dogs, bird dogs with me, come on our property, do all the fun stuff. But we want to also be a certain distance from the city, because right now we're currently working in the city. So the goal is to get the girlfriend out there, not working, babies, homestead life, have a bunch of things on the property that can make us money to supplement with the income that she brings, and eventually get more and more and more where I can take less of a role at the company and hire guys to be in those positions and be more at home. A few options on the table right now in terms of what we can do. One would be, building a forever home. We got offered a section of land on their parents' property. They got 52 acres. So we potentially could build a forever home on a parcel of land out there, cutting down the cost of getting the land, cutting down the cost of, buying the land is huge. But then we have to look at building a home and what the process of that comes at. And yeah, there are places that do that kind of stuff, but there's a whole bunch of issues that come with each one of these options. So that's one. Another one, which is the one we're exploring now, is to just simply find the property that we want. However, to find one in the Goldilocks zone, for anyone who's ever tried to buy a property, I'm sure you understand, to find one that's in your budget, to find one that's in the area you want, the type you want, the style you want, looks the way you want it, aesthetically, whatever, functionality, it's actually pretty difficult. There are some things like this one we just went to see crossed off so many freaking boxes of what I want. It was 30 acres. I can hunt on it. It had a creek running through it. Don't know how big, but a creek running through it. It had, it was all wooded, so it was forest. It had a shop, a big shop, heated. It just had a few things that could potentially be big things down the road. Like, for example, the furnace, which anyone who doesn't know what a furnace is, for all my, I'm pretty sure y'all got them in the States, but I know some people watch my vlogs in Texas and stuff, and I don't know if y'all got furnaces we got furnaces. Every house here has a furnace in the basement. You gotta heat the house. We have such harsh winters that it's just, you couldn't survive without one. So the furnace there was from 1999. That is very old. So pretty soon that thing would need to be updated. Those things are 10 grand, so that's another 10 grand, you gotta think, right? And there's a few of those variables within this one, so that's why ultimately it looks like we're probably not gonna pull the trigger on it. I also know some cosmetic stuff that some might say would be a problem, but me doing the work I do and knowing how to fix all that, that would just be a bargaining chip in our favor. And what I mean by that is it would only be a matter of time in the sense that we'd be trading time to get it where we need to be. Time and money, but I could do most of it myself. Most of the cosmetic stuff I could do myself, make it look really, really good. But again, there's a few key things that Tegan just didn't like. Now, if she said she really wanted it, I was enough for it that if she said yes, I would be yes. But I would say 77% yes. And she was probably 40% yes, so it's a no. Even if I was 100% yes, let's be honest. If she was not on it, it'd be a no, which is fair. But so there's the RTM option, there's the buying a home option, or there's the DIY option. And the DIY option is, there's a few routes you can go. You can upfront the whole cost, or you can upfront just a deposit, and you can have a builder give you the blueprints, give you every kind of scope you need for your project or your home. And you get everything quoted, blah, 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 by a few contractors. You get that number and you give it to the bank, and they release so much money for those first projects, like the foundation, XYZ that would be at the start. And then once that's completed, you would get installment 2. Once that's completed, installment 3, yada, yada, yada. So basically you've got to pay a deposit up front, which would probably be your down payment on the house. So there's a route of doing that as well. But, we're just trying to keep all the options open. We're trying to see what we want, because that again has its own problems. Yes, you will have a beautiful house, brand new appliances, new everything, but you're paying to build this house. Right off the hop, you have to put up a bunch of money. So you have to put up a lot of capital. Then you still have to be living somewhere while you're building this house and like going back and forth from that. And there's just a lot to it, a lot of moving parts. With that being said though, you get to choose what's going into the house. You get to choose how good of products you use. So instead of just using the shitty insulation that most houses have, you can go a little bit above and beyond. It's a little bit more money, but if I know how to do lots of the work, cuts down a bunch of the cost. But now if I need a builder to do it, like I don't know where that works in terms of me being allowed to do any of it. And so there's a lot of moving parts, like I said. So we're still keeping every option open, basically. It's like a problem you feel you're getting so close to solving, and then it's just never solved, and then one day it just will be, and I'll be like, oh hot damn, welcome to my homestead. Until then, the search continues. What is up, y'all? We're going ice fishing right now. We're just about an hour north of Winnipeg, driving out to the spot. Not too sure where the father-in-law is taking us, but him and the girlfriend are in the Jeep in front of me, and tailing them with a load in the back. We're actually right near Petersfield right now. So I don't know exactly what body of water we're going on or what nook we're going into, but it should be fun. We'll get some more videos along the way. But this is my first time going ice fishing as an adult. Can you believe that? As an adult. I've done it, I think, once or twice as a kid, but the one time I remember, the lure was put on the rod, the hole was already dug, the tent was already set up, the chair was already there, just like sit here, hold the rod, and I don't even think I caught anything, but if we did, I wouldn't have been the one to take it off the hook, to put it back or fillet it or do whatever. Like, I wouldn't have been responsible for that, so it would have been literally just sitting there holding the rod. So this is the first time for me, pretty much. Super exciting. I'm hyped. My goal is to catch one or two that I can fillet and cook up tonight. That would be wicked if that happens, but we'll see. All right, hopefully we do. There. Now that's not super foggy in this patch. See the trees? That's called horror frost. Super cool. What up, guys? We just finished ice fishing. My first time out as an adult, and we didn't even get the fish. We didn't even get the fucking fish. Not one. Not one. We didn't even get a line in the water, a hole dug, nothing. Nothing. All because we drove out, and I don't know if it's just the time of year, later in the season. I don't know if it's just the temperature is -1, so it's a little bit slushy out. I don't know. But the snow on the ice was so like wet and just a mess that we sunk completely. Almost got hung up with the Jeep, so we had to dig it out. Got it moving a little bit, only to get hung up again. Couldn't get it out. We had to drive with the truck back to the in-laws property to go get a sled. That's what we do. Grab one of those bad boys, load it up in the truck, drive it out there, rip it out on the ice back to the Jeep. Had to find it again. And then we should have dropped the pin. And then, yeah, we pulled it out with the sled, got it ripped around. I ripped it all the way to shore. Almost got stuck a couple times, but it was good. And now I got the father-in-law driving the sled back in the ditch, and the girlfriend behind me in the Jeep, and I'm in the truck. So safe to say, fishing 1, Gary 0. It was still fun though. I had a great time. The girlfriend, father-in-law, it was awesome. Would I have preferred to catch fish? 100%. Would I prefer to be taking some fish home with me right now? 100%. But the fishies get to live another day, my friend. The fishies get to live another day. Alright guys, so anyone who knows me knows I love my dog immensely and knows that I will do anything to give him the best possible. So I wanted to share with you guys this back seat waterproof cover that I got because it's an absolute game changer. And I think anyone who has pets should have one of these, especially if you want to safeguard your seat, safeguard your truck, safeguard your vehicle. This thing is a goddamn lifesaver. The other day, Knoxley got motion sickness in the car because we were driving and traffic was like stop, start, stop, start, and he kind of got hot. Got motion sickness. Whatever the reason is, he puked on this thing, cleaned up in an instant. There was no smell, no mess, no nothing, just whoop, and it was gone. It was easy as hell. I had a doggy bag, just scooped it up, and it was gone. wiped it a little bit, clean as hell. This thing, your buckles can come through. Everything is waterproof. It's scratch resistant. It's got zippers so you can fit it to your seats. It just clips on the headrest. It is immaculate, guys. It is one of the best things I've ever gotten for the truck. And if you are in the market for one, if you are looking for something to protect your seats because you have a dog, have a cat, have an animal, have a pet that you want to take on journeys with you, that's the best thing you could possibly get. It's got little pockets too, so you can hold stuff in it. It's amazing. There's a link in the description. It's from Amazon. You can get one yourself. I've done the hard work for you and found it for the best price possible. You might as well just click that one, save yourself some money, and help me out in the process. So if you're looking for one, that's the best one to go for. Links in the description. Get yourself one. Pet peeve of mine is when people do something they know they shouldn't be doing or that's wrong to do, and they get mad at you for doing said thing. For example, just now, I'm driving back home at Knoxley. These two gentlemen have the entire road blocked off with their van because they're unloading stuff, which is fine. If you have to load shit 100%. But I pull up and I'm like, excuse me guys, are you gonna be long? Just see if I should like back up the road or if I should come this way. And the one dude looks at me, he's like, fuck buddy, just go around. I'm like, bro, like, you're the one who's blocking the goddamn road. I just came in to ask. He's, go around. And who would have guessed they were a different ethnicity of me? So the first thing they went into was, fucking white boy, get around, go around. And it's like, why is it? When you do something wrong, like your race has nothing to do with it. This is not racial or anything, but it's like when anyone gets stuck in a corner, when they are proven wrong, the first thing so many people do is lash out with like, oh, you look stupid, or your hat's dumb, or your race. It's like, bro, because you don't have a leg to stand on in this argument, you're just gonna attack anything that's like the weakest shit that you can do. And then it pisses me off that because you're blocking the street, now we're in an argument because I asked to see, hey man, you guys gonna be long just unloading, like shut out background. Like I was like, excuse me, and they started popping off me. I didn't even get to explain what I was asking about. They just popped off. And it's like, that's the part that frustrates me. It's like, you're the one doing something wrong. You're the one who's, you know, quote unquote going against the rules. No one was getting mad at you for it, but you decided to escalate the situation. It's like someone cutting you off in traffic and then you getting to the light with them and them bitching you out. It's like, I don't understand how, like, what? I digress. Life's good. God is good. God's great. Life's good. All right? Let's just drop that. I need to vent for a second. Thanks for listening. Knoxville? Hey, buddy. That was cool. Okay, I just found out about this today as well, and if you don't know who Red Farron is, he's a country artist. He's helped write a bunch of songs for a bunch of famous artists and stuff like that. I guess he started out as a songwriter more or less, but he's written his own music. Anyways, he's recording a lot now, putting it out. He's got a lot of good songs, but he's coming to fucking Winnipeg, and I'm pretty pumped about that because he's still like, he's known, but he's not super known. I'm like one of the only people around that I know who've ever listened to him, so it's kind of cool like that. He's going to get that exposure, come to Winnipeg before he's a big thing. I'm going to get to see him before he's huge, which is kind of cool. So if you haven't checked him out yet, here is one of his songs. It's how to spell his name. Got a couple good songs. Let me just skim through a few here. Bad Bunny. No Bad Bunny. So you guys heard kind of what I like, but I want you to hear what Tegan's thoughts were about the whole place. What you thought was, let me get the white balance here. There you go. All right, so tell them a couple pros and cons of the property that you saw today, or that we went and saw. But what ultimately was the deal breaker for you?
The house.
So I was saying how there's the cosmetic stuff that I could probably repair and stuff, but there's also the time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and like the layout of the house I didn't love. I loved the property. The property was awesome, but I just like the house in general, and I don't know, I just couldn't see it. I just didn't, like, at least if it was like, oh, okay, I don't love the color of the cupboards or the color of the walls, like super easy things, but like the things that I didn't like, I feel like are more expensive to fix and would take longer to fix. And like, just like the layout in general was just awkward. Like there wasn't any flow to it. There wasn't, and like the foyer, there was like really wasn't a foyer at all. And like, yeah, I just,
yeah,
like lots of practical things. I feel like that would kind of affect your everyday, even if you did do upgrades to it, just like you just couldn't really fix it unless you want to gut the entire inside of the house and completely rebuild the layout of it. But
yeah, I see what you're saying. But you were sold on the land, though?
I liked the land, yeah. And I liked the driveway up to the house, like the trees along it was so nice. But, and then also if we were compromising that much on the house, I feel like I would at least want it to be closer to my parents then.
Yeah.
Because it would still be at least like an hour drive. And the whole
True.
reason we're staying here is to be closer to family, so it'd still be
True.
quite a drive.
That is very true. So that was what, property 3 we've gone and seen?
Yes.
Now that we've gone and seen 3, what would you say you're looking for when we're looking at probably? Like, what would your ideal property be? Well, for both of us. Ideally, I'd want 10
Yeah, I think 10.
plus acres. I think
Yeah.
10 is kind of my minimum. If we found the perfect house on like 8, 7, but it would have to be the perfect house, but I would prefer 10 plus typically.
Yeah, I'd prefer about 10 plus 2. And trees. We want
Trees,
trees.
yes.
Like, we've seen a lot that
Woods.
have been like lots of property, but it's like you have a windbreak around your house and then it's field. And like, we don't want that. So lots of trees we want. Ideally to have some sort of water.
Yeah, like this
Running
one's cool
through it.
because it did have the
It had a creek.
creek running through it. It'd be nice to see it in the spring or the summer when you
Yeah.
can actually see it flowing, but still cool.
Yeah, we don't know how big of a creek, but
No.
it's had a creek, which is really cool.
I don't care so much if it's the perfect house as long as it's not a bunch of expensive things
Yeah.
and large things. Like if it's like one expensive thing that in the next 5 years might be a problem, okay, but if it's like 2 or 3 things that could be any time now, then I just don't want to be running into those problems as well. But like other than that, as long as it's like cosmetic and I can fix it, I don't really care about the house. She's more
A little more picky.
yeah.
I would just like to be able to go and live in it, like even for a while before needing to do anything.
Yeah.
And like know that we have time to do it and like it's not urgent and
I
but like that
100%.
house I didn't feel like that. Like I would not want to live there for any extended
Yeah.
period of time without doing anything to it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, like you want to be able to move in and be like,
And like
For
know
just a
you're
second.
gonna be doing upgrades, but like
yeah, be
not
able-
feeling like I need to do it right now because I don't feel like I can live in this house the way that it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that.
Someone just shared my video about the fraud situation. It's funny, within a year, we've gotten 150K, well, 146,000 views on that one video. And I'm still fucked. Still really fucked.
All right, so I'm refurbishing a dresser, and I'm thinking about colors for the handles. So I got the body's gonna be this like cream satin color. It's like a Harlem white satin. So it's like an off-white basically. I'm thinking putting the handles in black or doing the handles in like a brass color. I do not know, so I'm thinking what this is the colors I have right now. I have this gloss black and this satin color. So this is what the body is already. But do the handles go like this, or do I go like a brass, or do I do something crazy? Seeing as it's been a hell of a lot nicer outside, I've been having fires all the time. I mean, you'd think warmer weather, you wouldn't want to have a fire. But here in Canada, when it's like minus 40 degrees Celsius, you don't really want to even be outside, let alone even if you're standing near a fire. So now it's nicer and I can be outside with the dog. Always having a fire. So right now we're in the garage, and as of recently, I mean, we got these pieces a little while ago, but as of recently, and I'll at some point do a before and after what they look like, but we picked up these pieces on Facebook Marketplace. They're pretty rough, and I've been slowly throughout the winter doing little upgrades on them and fixing them to a point where we can resell them. Now they got to a point where they needed paint. I do not have a spot on this property I do not have a spot on this property right now where I can paint and have it at the temperature I need for it to actually look good and not just hope it looks good in the end. So I got to a point where it just needs to be painted, so I waited till warmer weather. I kind of rushed it a little bit. I waited till it was like -5, which is like pushing it. So I kept it in the garage though, which you can see there's 0 insulation. But we've got that piece over there as well that we'll be touching up soon. But this is what we're working with right now. So I gotta fill in with some wood filler all these little grooves and stuff, and then we're gonna re-sand it down very lightly. So I gave it one coat. It was green like this with like designs on it, and I sanded it all down, and now I just gotta fill some of the gaps with some wood filler, and then we're gonna sand that down and repaint it. It's gonna look great.